Not all quarters are worth just 25 cents. Some Washington quarters with rare mint marks and state quarters with famous errors, like the 2004 Wisconsin Extra Leaf, have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So before you spend that change, check your quarters. You might be holding a hidden jackpot. The 1986 United States Washington quarter dollar is one of those coins that at first glance seems ordinary, part of the everyday change that millions of people carried in their pockets during the 1980s. Yet, like so many pieces of circulating coinage, the 1986 quarter carries with it stories of history, design, massive production, and, for the sharp-eyed collector, the possibility of incredible value when errors or pristine examples are discovered. Though billions were struck and most remain worth only face value, certain 1986 quarters have proven that even a coin as common as this can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction, transforming a simple 25-cent piece into a rare treasure. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932, when the coin was introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. John Flanagan's portrait of Washington facing left has remained the primary design ever since, although refinements and changes have been made over the decades. On the obverse of the 1986 quarter, you see Washington's profile with the inscriptions "Liberty" above, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1986 below. The mint mark, depending on the place of striking, appears to the right of Washington's ponytail. The reverse of the 1986 quarter continued with Flanagan heraldic eagle design, which had been in use since the coin's debut. The eagle is shown perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolic of strength and defense, with olive branches beneath it representing peace. The words United States of America arch across the top, E pluribus unum, appears just above the eagle's head, and the denomination quarter dollar rests along the bottom. This design remained standard until the state quarter program began in 1999, which means the 1986 issue belongs to the classic Washington quarter era. The composition of the 1986 quarter is the modern copper-nickel clad introduced in 1965 after rising silver prices ended the use of 90% silver coinage for circulation. Each coin consists of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin its familiar silvery appearance. The total weight is 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge. Collectors recognized that by 1986, silver quarters were long gone from circulation, but rare minting errors or unusual strikes could still make certain coins stand out. Production numbers for the 1986 quarter were massive. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 551 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced more than 504 million. San Francisco struck proof issues for collectors, with just over 3 million proof coins made, most of which were sold directly to numismatists in annual proof sets. With over 1 billion circulation strikes across 2 mints, the majority of 1986 quarters remain common today. But as is often the case, it's the unusual survivors that command collector attention. Condition is the first factor that separates ordinary from extraordinary. Most 1986 quarters circulated heavily, collecting nicks, scratches, and dull luster along the way. High-grade examples, especially those certified mint state 67 or higher by grading services like PCGS or NGC, are extremely scarce. The difference between an MS65 and an MS67 may be barely noticeable to the untrained eye, but to collectors, those 2 points on the grading scale can mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars in added value. Proof coins, especially those with flawless deep cameo contrast, also command strong premiums. A perfect PR70 example with deeply mirrored fields and frosted devices can sell for significant sums when offered at auction. Error coins from 1986 are particularly sought after, and this is where values can climb dramatically. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, are highly collectible, especially when the date remains visible. Double strikes, where the coin was struck more than once by the dies, create fascinating overlapping designs that collectors love. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's metal is missing due to a mistake in cutting the blanks, also generate strong interest. Another error that turns up from time to time is a broad strike, where the coin is struck without the collar that normally keeps it in shape, resulting in a wider, flatter appearance point. One of the most intriguing errors possible in this era involves transitional planchets. While extremely rare, some coins from the mid-1980s have been discovered struck on leftover silver planchets, or other incorrect blanks, instantly elevating them to treasure status. Imagine finding what looks like an ordinary 1986 quarter only to realize it's struck on a foreign planchet or an older silver one. Such discoveries have shocked collectors and driven auction prices into the tens of thousands. Auction history proves just how valuable certain 1986 quarters can be. Common circulated examples may only be worth face value, but rare mint errors and pristine high-grade coins have achieved jaw-dropping prices. At major numismatic auctions, top-graded 1986 quarters and dramatic error specimens have sold in ranges between $48,000 and $130,000, showing that, under the right circumstances, a simple quarter can become a fortune. These high prices not only reward the keen-eyed collector but also inspire countless people to take a second look at the change in their pockets. The proof coins from San Francisco are also worth special mention. Collectors often prize the deep cameo versions of the 1986 S quarter, where the contrast between the frosted devices and the mirror-like fields creates a stunning visual effect. While millions were produced, finding an example without haze, spotting, or minor imperfections is challenging, making perfect specimens rare and valuable. Beyond value, the 1986 quarter carries with it the everyday history of America in the mid-1980s. It was a time when the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 50 years, yet it remained the standard coin of commerce. These were the coins jingling in people's pockets during the Reagan presidency, exchanged at gas stations, diners, and payphones across the country. For those who lived through that era, finding a pristine or rare 1986 quarter today can bring back memories of a different time, adding emotional value to its numismatic worth. Collectors today know that treasures often hide in plain sight. The 1986 quarter, while common at first glance, holds potential for discovery, whether in the form of an error coin, a transitional variety, or an exceptionally well-preserved example. Each of these rare finds proves that coin collecting is as much about the thrill of the hunt as it is about the value of the coin itself. So the next time you come across a quarter from 1986, don't dismiss it as just another piece of pocket change. Take a moment to examine it closely. Look for off-center strikes, unusual thickness, odd coloration, or signs of doubling. If the coin appears pristine, consider that it might grade higher than most and carry hidden value. For some lucky finders, a 1986 Washington quarter has turned out to be worth far more than its face value, reaching prices that range from thousands to well over $100,000 at auction. The 1986 Washington quarter reminds us that coins are more than currency. They are artifacts of history, snapshots of design, and in rare cases, tickets to unexpected fortune. Whether found in circulation, tucked away in an old collection, or purchased at a coin show, this humble piece of American money continues to surprise and excite collectors with the possibilities it holds. The 2020 United States National Park Quarter Dollar is one of the most fascinating coins of the modern America the Beautiful series, carrying with it both historic symbolism and collectible intrigue. At first glance, it looks like a simple quarter worth 25 cents, one of billions struck and spent in everyday commerce. Yet behind this coin lies a story of artistry, history, and even unexpected rarity, making it a must-know piece for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The America the Beautiful Quarters program, launched in 2010, was designed to celebrate national parks and historic sites in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. Each year, the United States Mint released 5 different quarter designs, each highlighting one site of national significance. By 2020, the program was nearing its end, with only a few coins left before its conclusion in 2021. The 2020 National Park Quarter honored the National Park of American Samoa, located in the South Pacific, a place that many Americans may never see in person but which came to life on this small silver and copper coin. The design of the 2020 National Park Quarter is one of the most charming and unique in the entire series. Instead of featuring a sweeping landscape, mountain, or historic monument, it shows something far more personal and deeply tied to the natural world. 2 fruit bats. The image captures a Samoan fruit bat mother hanging upside down from a tree branch, her pup clinging close to her. Their faces, detailed and expressive, fill the center of the coin. This unusual choice highlighted the importance of the park in protecting endangered species and drew attention to conservation efforts in the Pacific. It was a departure from the usual grandeur of mountains and rivers, instead focusing on the delicate and intimate connection of wildlife and environment. Collectors immediately recognized the uniqueness of the design. The bat quarter, as it quickly became known, generated excitement not just among numismatists but also with the general public. Its popularity grew across social media, with many people intrigued by the charming and almost whimsical appearance of the bats. For children, casual coin hunters, and seasoned collectors alike, this quarter stood out as one of the most memorable issues in the entire series. Like other America the Beautiful quarters, the 2020 National Park coin was struck at multiple mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Circulation strikes came from Philadelphia and Denver, while proof and silver proof issues were produced at San Francisco. Billions were struck, ensuring that the coin was widely available in pocket change across the country. Yet, as with many modern issues, it is not just the design that makes a coin valuable but the presence of errors, varieties, and condition. Error coins from the 2020 National Park quarter are some of the most talked about among modern issues. The most notable is the struck-through grease error, where parts of the design appear faint or missing due to minting debris. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and even partial collar strikes have also been recorded. Some dramatic examples of these errors have sold for hundreds of dollars, with unique and eye-catching mistakes sometimes reaching well into the thousands at auction. Condition plays another major role. While ordinary circulated examples of the 2020 bat quarter are worth face value, coins graded in mint state 67 or higher can sell for significant premiums. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC have certified many examples, but the very highest grade coins, those flawless MS68 and MS69 specimens, are scarce. These top-graded pieces have been sold for auction prices of $400 to $1,000 or more depending on demand and collector interest. Even more intriguing are the 2020 W quarters. As part of a special promotion, the United States Mint struck a limited number of quarters at the West Point Mint in 2019 and 2020, marked with the distinctive W mint mark. These quarters were not sold directly by the mint, but were released into circulation in mixed rolls and bags, creating a modern-day treasure hunt. Only 2 million of each 2020 design were struck with the W mint mark, including the National Park of American Samoa design. This instantly made them rarities compared to the billions of P and D mint issues. The excitement around finding a 2020 W National Park quarter was immense. Collectors scoured bankrolls, change, and circulation in hopes of spotting the elusive W. These coins, even in circulated condition, often sell for $20 to $50. Uncirculated examples graded by PCGS or NGC regularly fetch $100 to $300, with top condition specimens commanding even higher prices. For many, the 2020 W bat quarter became the crown jewel of their America the Beautiful collections, combining rarity, charm, and modern-day adventure. Auction stories reflect this excitement. In recent years, collectors have paid several $100s for certified MS67 and MS68 examples of the 2020 W National Park quarter. Error versions of the W mint coins, such as off-center strikes or strike-throughs, can soar into the thousands, since they combine both rarity of mint mark and rarity of error. The combination makes these coins modern treasures in every sense of the word. The historical significance of the design also adds weight to the coin's collectibility. The National Park of American Samoa is the only U.S. national park located in the Southern Hemisphere. Its focus on bats symbolizes not just the importance of wildlife conservation but also the cultural and ecological identity of the region. For collectors, owning this quarter is not just about the metal. It is about holding a piece of America's natural and cultural legacy. In the long run, the 2020 National Park quarter will continue to stand out as one of the most distinctive and beloved designs in the America the Beautiful program. While most circulation strikes may never be worth more than face value, high-grade examples, W mint rarities, and error coins will remain prized by collectors for generations. The popularity of the bat design also ensures that even casual collectors will continue to hunt for it, keeping demand strong. The story of the 2020 National Park of American Samoa quarter is ultimately about more than money. It is about discovery, conservation, and the unexpected joy of finding something special in your pocket change. For those lucky enough to find a 2020 W bat quarter in circulation, The thrill of turning a 25-cent coin into a $100 collectible is unforgettable. And for those who treasure the artistry of coins, the mother and pup fruit bats remain one of the most endearing images ever placed on U.S. currency.